You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. And of course, you have seen the title. Now let me forewarn y'all right up front. It's going to be a tough video. It's going to be tough. I'm going to be as politically correct as I can here. But I know, based upon what I'm about to tell y'all, y'all not going to like. But I was preparing myself to address this video of this Brad that called into one Cynthia G's podcast. And then something came down the pipe that forced me to put all of that on the back burner. I'm going to deal with that in the whole. I'm going to have to take that whole conversation down into the rabbit hole production and deal with how the sisters were all in celebration of this Brad, which, of course, you know, this doesn't surprise us. I mean, we know that it's not truth until the white man says it. We know that once the white man says it, no matter what it is, according to the Negro female, is law and gospel, because after all, the white man is God. This don't shock me. I mean, what do you expect from a group of women who worship the ground that white men walk on? So if they worship the ground that white men walk upon, then it stands to reason that they will also worship whatever comes out that white man's mouth. So, I mean, we get this. We understand it. But I'm going to deal with that whole concept, and y'all can tell by my voice, I don't have my full voice. For some odd reason, this summer cold has got me and got my voice out of sorts. So I'm not going to labor long in this video because of the fact that I really don't have my voice because I'm struggling with one of these summer colds. But that comes as no surprise to us. We got that. So if you want the rabbit hole production of me dealing with that entire conversation and the black female's response to Brad, you know what it is, Second Nature Like Breathing. Send me an email, I'll get you the link. And then this week, oh boy, you know, just when you think black people cannot surprise you anymore. I mean, I've reached the point with y'all that nothing y'all do, nothing y'all say shocks me. I come to expect the worst. I have a very low bar of expectation for y'all. Therefore, when y'all don't meet that very low bar of expectation, I'm not disappointed because I don't expect much out of y'all in the first place. But something happened that really made me sit back and think to myself, you know, man, I've been saying for years that this black race is done. A lot of people don't like to hear me say it. A lot of people get offended when I say it. They want to try to fuss and give me examples that would prove the contrary, but no, I am a firm believer that it's over. We, as a race, we're not coming out of this. We're not going to pull ourselves out of this ditch. It's not going to happen. And something y'all did this week solidified my philosophy or my hypothesis, if you will, on the doomed nature of the black race. When you Negroes went out and y'all created a 700-pound bronze statue of George Floyd, not just one statue, multiple statues. Multiple statues of George Floyd were created that coincided with y'all's Juneteenth celebration. And as I sat back and looked at this, I thought to myself, you know, when God created the black race, he had to be laughing. I mean, there's just no other way you can even begin to rationalize this Negro. And the complete and utter goofy shit he does. I've told y'all from the conception of the Black Lives Matter, when that organization was founded, and many of you follow my videos, y'all may remember this. I talked about, when does a black life have a value? When that black life is taken by a white cop or a white person. If George Floyd met his demise at the hands of a Negro, there would be no statues. There would be no celebrations. It's just another nigga dead. But because George Floyd met his demise at the knee of a white cop who, of course, if you listen to their narrative, he's racist, then all of a sudden George Floyd becomes a candidate for bronze statues and celebrations. And many of you will still wonder why I'm telling you it's over for this race. It's done. It's done. We, as a culture, we are not pulling ourselves out of this ditch. We're too far gone. Too far gone. And I know some of y'all believe that things are getting better. Some of y'all believe that, you know, there are people now who are on the scene who can correct the downward spiral of the Negro. I'm here to tell you, y'all, listen, it's not happening. It's not happening, people. When I seen y'all and y'all celebrations, and see, listen, let me tell y'all something. Stop sending me emails asking me to do videos on Juneteenth. Juneteenth means nothing to me. I mean, haven't I made this abundantly clear? I don't celebrate none of y'all's holidays. I don't celebrate none of y'all's holidays. So there's nothing for me. There's no there with Juneteenth. I mean, what? Juneteenth, 4th of July is one and the same. Christmas, Easter, I mean, they're all one and the same. I've done videos on them all. And this is the reason why I don't celebrate none of y'all's holidays. None of them. The only holiday that I celebrate is my birthday. But when I seen you Negroes carrying on with these statues these bronze statues. And listen. Now, I've said this from the very first video that I done on George Floyd. I said it, I still believe it. This is my position on his death. If you're a black man in America and you can look at how that brother met his demise and not be troubled by that, there's something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. And again, the reason why those protests exploded all over the world is because people personalized it. So I understand that aspect of it. But now, once we respect that aspect of his demise, we then have to come back and ask y'all, what's up with the statues? What's up with the 700-pound bronze statues? What's up with y'all celebrating like y'all won something? See, let me take a sip of this. Fighting this hoarse voice, but I'm gonna get through it. Actually, that sounds better than I took a sip of that. Let me take another sip of that. Okay. This video may be longer than what I thought, but listen. I'm gonna give you an example. Of the demise of the Negro. And I'm gonna tie it into a movie, I believe it was in the 90s. Can't remember the exact date. Some of you may have seen the movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And that's the movie Titanic. That's the movie Titanic. And I can remember a brother telling me, listen, man, you need to watch that because I think you will like the whole racial piece. And when they're on the ship and how the lower classes were treated, you know, and the whole dynamic. So, you know, I looked at it and I don't care too much about the love story. They can have that. But as far as the racial component, yeah, I liked it. So I like the movie Titanic. And I'm going to give you this example using that movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But I'm going to explain it to you as briefly as I can. We all know the story of the Titanic, hits the iceberg, sinks, boom. But now, remember now, they were saying this ship cannot sink. The guy who created or built the Titanic, he built it, and it was a marvel that this ship is unsinkable. This boat is unsinkable. So in the movie, he's giving them a tour of the boat, of the ship. And then he tells them, because this is an unsinkable boat, the life preservers, there's not enough life preservers for the number of people that we have on this boat. But don't worry, you wouldn't have to worry about that because, again, they were of the mindset that nothing can sink this ship. Nothing can sink this boat. It's unsinkable. Fast forward to when they actually hit the iceberg. Water is coming into the boat. So they go back to the creator of the Titanic and they ask him again. And at this point, he's accepted the fact, listen, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This boat, this ship is sinking. It's going to sink. And so they look to him and they ask him, well, what do we do? And his response was, well, remember what I told y'all about the lifeboats not being enough for all the people that's here? Get your ass to one of those lifeboats. Get your ass to that life preserver. So they started putting people in the lifeboats based upon class, and then they went with women and children. What am I saying? The black race is the Titanic. It's been hit an iceberg years ago. Years ago. And it has been sinking ever since. So the message to black people, no matter who they are, be they black men, black women, get your ass to one of those lifeboats. Because there's not enough lifeboats to save everybody. Some of y'all ain't gonna make it. Some of y'all just ain't gonna make it. That's just the reality of it. So when you hear the Cynthia G's and the Nyla Says and the Black Woman Spheres and some of these other females who talk that black male conquered rhetoric, see, they are of the opinion that they are separate from black men and the demise of black men. So they think, well, black men are conquered, but that ain't had no effect on me. Oh, yes, it does, because we're connected. Not only are we connected, you're on this boat too, and it's sinking. Now, you can go to the back of the boat and say, look at those black men at the front of the boat. Yeah, look at them. But guess what? The entire ship is sinking. This is where we are as a race, y'all. I know y'all don't like it. I know y'all not going to accept it because y'all actually want to believe that things are getting better. No, they're not. They're not. They're not. And some of y'all actually believe, and when I hear it, I just chuckle to myself. Some of y'all actually believe it's Democrat and Republican. Y'all still on that. Y'all still on that. You still have Negroes who still believe that the problem with the Negro is the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. And I sit back and I laugh when I hear that stuff. Because at one point, a long time ago, I used to think that too. Don't think that anymore. See, because y'all, you black people, there is a political component to your problem. But your problem is not politics. There is an economic component to your problem. But your major problem is not economics. There is an educational component to your problem, but your problem is not educational. Everything has been tried to correct your situation. Everything. Everything has been done to try to correct your situation ever since they released y'all from slavery. But I like what W.E.B. Du Bois in his classic work, Black Reconstruction, I often quoted in some of my videos what he said about black people after slavery. It's one of the hardest statements I have ever heard or read. When Du Bois said after slavery, the Afro-American Negro looked right, and then he looked left, and then he went right back to being a slave. That's what the Honorable Dr. E.B. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois said about the plight of the Negro. He looked right after slavery, he looked left after slavery, and then he went right back to being a slave. See, your problem is not political. It has a political component. It's not economic, even though it has an economic component. It has an educational component. Your problem is genetic. And I'm not going to really go no further than that here. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to sit it on the shelf. Because everything else has been tried. The ship is sinking. Y'all are a sinking race. Now, I know people can say, well, society is sinking. Yes, it is. But I'm not talking about society. I'm talking about this Negro. This is the reason why when I hear, people who have a problem with critical race theory, And I sit back and I chuckle. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Particularly the black women who I see criticizing critical race theory, but didn't have a problem with affirmative blaction. Didn't you got your job and your position off of affirmative action, government set aside, or quotas? You didn't have a problem with it then? And all critical race theory is one of the residual effects from what? Affirmative action, government set aside, quotas. It's all one and the same. You are a professional victim. This is the doctrine of victimology that all of your civil rights and all of your leaders preach to y'all. But yet and still, with everything that they have preached to y'all, all that they have tried to do to help y'all, the ship is sinking. And y'all don't seem to understand this. Y'all don't get it. And the reason why y'all don't get it is because y'all have bought into the fact that, listen, things are getting better for me if I just do A, B, or C. No, 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 no. You still on the ship, baby. See, the Cynthia G's and the Nyla Sezes and the rest of those women, they're like, if you've seen the movie Titanic, you remember the guys who were playing the violin as the ship sank? And they're sitting there playing the violin. They're playing music. This thing is going down, man. And they're oblivious to what's going on around them. They're sitting there playing music. See, that's the way they are. They think that the plight of black men is separate from them and they can separate themselves from it. No, you can't separate yourself from this. We are interlocked and interconnected whether we want to be or not. That's just the reality, man. This is just the facts. So now you can go to a different part of the boat and you can divest and go to the different part of the boat and think that, listen, I've separated myself from them. No, but you're still on this ship and the ship is sinking. Don't you get it? And when you look at you Negroes, you Negroes, y'all go out and y'all attack monuments because y'all say the person was a racist or they, that we don't like what they did in history, so they shouldn't have a monument. So there was this big, y'all remember that whole push, everybody going after these monuments. And I was one who said, listen, leave them alone. They should be allowed to stand. Why? Because that's history. It's history. We can't go back. See, if y'all do that, y'all trying to do what black women do, and that's go back and erase the historical record. You can't erase the historical record. It is what it is. It's history. It may be painful, it may be dark, but it is what it is. It's history. I'm sure America would like to go back and erase slavery, but they can't. That's American history. You can't go back and revise. Now, if you get new information, yes, you can go back and update some things that we thought in the past when we come to find new information. You can do that, but you can't erase it. And that's what the Negroes want to do. They want to erase the historical record as if it never exists. And then they want to replace it with what? Statues and 700-pound statues of George Floyd. A man who done what? What did he do? What is it that he done? Y'all have created a statue for George Floyd. And that's the same as the statue y'all have for Martin Luther King. Now, I understand what y'all think Martin Luther King done for y'all, but I mean, that's a subject for another video and is very much debatable, but we covered it. Y'all know where I'm at on that. But yet, still, y'all say y'all love Dr. King. So all that he's done for y'all, y'all give him a statue. Even though half of y'all ain't paid for it, y'all ain't sent no money for it, and some of y'all ain't even going to visit. Ain't going to see the damn thing. But y'all love Dr. King so much. But again, those are subjects for other videos. But now y'all got these statues and monuments for George Floyd. And all of this shows, man, just how lost this race is, man. The ship is sinking. It's sinking, man. It's sinking. And it hurts me to tell y'all this because I know a lot of y'all don't believe it. It's over, man. We as a race, we're not pulling ourselves out this ditch. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And let me tell y'all something else. Because, you know, I want this video to be this long. I just want to give y'all some commentary and push y'all towards the Rabbit Hole Production. Shameless plug for the Rabbit Hole Production. You want that video, send me an email, I'll send you the link. But let me tell y'all something, as I still struggle with my voice. Listen, Cynthia G, Crystal Cares, Chrissy, Nyla Says, who else? Black Woman Fear. I mean, we can name these heifers all day. They are a lot of things, but agents is not one of them. They're not agents. They're not. They're not. They're not. No, they're not agents. And I will stand emphatically and say this. No, they are not agents. Why do I say that? Because in order for you, when you say that these people or these individuals are agents, you're suggesting and you're giving and placing more intelligence on black people than what they actually have. What am I saying? They don't need agents for y'all, man. Where have y'all been? Why is an agent needed to destabilize your community? Are you serious? Come on, man, stop. You're on a sinking ship. It's the hit of iceberg years ago. Why do we need an agent to further destabilize y'all when y'all gonna do it yourselves? Y'all just aren't that smart. You remember, and I'm gonna close with this. You remember Charles Manson? Why did Charles Manson order those murders? And he was white when he said, I ain't killed nobody. He didn't. He didn't do it himself. He ordered his people to do it. But why did he do that? Because Charles Manson wanted to start a race war. That's the whole concept behind Helter Skelter. And Charles Manson believed that because he wanted the Black Panthers to be blamed for those murders, and what he was hoping would happen is that a race war would break out, Helter Skelter. And Charles Manson said that the race war, black people would actually win. And since black people would actually win the race war, then they're in charge. And because they don't know how to run government, they don't have the intelligence to do this, then what are they going to do? According to Charles Manson, he said they're going to look to Whitey. They're going to ask the white man, come fix this for us. And then at that point, the white man will come in, clean everything up, and then everything will be back the way it was supposed to be. That's the whole concept of Helter Skelter. That was the whole concept of why Charles Manson ordered those murders. He wanted to start a race war because he knew that if y'all win, y'all not smart enough. Y'all just not. And he's not, he wasn't too far off. He's just not. I mean, that's just the reality. He's not too far off. in its assessment. Y'all not. Y'all not. And when I looked at you Negroes with this Juneteenth and creating of these statues for George Floyd, I thought to myself, man, this nigga, man, I'm you had better get yourself to one of those lifeboats, because a lot of y'all just ain't gonna make it. Y'all just ain't gonna make it, man. That's just where we're at. The ship is sinking. Now, let me wrap this video, because I didn't rambled on too long. Plus, I'm struggling with this voice. Listen, I'm gonna deal with that video with that Brad and Cynthia G. I'm gonna deal with it this weekend in Rapid Hope Production. You know what it is, Second Nature Like Breathing. You want it, send me an email, I'll send you a link. And I'm also gonna give you the unedited, unscripted version of the George Floyd statues. I'm gonna include that in there as well. Because at the end of the day,